Welcome back to the Toronto Thunderbirds franchise here on Madden 25, and in today's episode, we will be finding out if your Toronto Thunderbirds are headed to the NFL playoffs for the very first time. With the way the current division standings are, we are 8-6 with a 2-game lead over the 6-8 New Orleans Saints, who are obviously the very first team we will play today, as you just saw. And if we can pick up the win, we would go to 9-6, they would go to 6-9, and that would mean that they could no longer catch us, so we would officially secure the NFC South. And obviously, it does not mean much, but we have beaten the Saints already this season. We beat them back in Week 1, but they are still led by quarterback Brian Ramsey, who is now an 84 overall. At running back, they have Dameon Pierce, who was an 87. Over at wide receiver is a 90 overall in Chris Olave and an 84 in Michael Pittman. Over at tight ends, a 78 overall in Juwan Johnson. Left tackle is going to be an 86. Left guard is going to be an 80. Center is going to be an 87, right guard is going to be an 82, and right tackle will be an 85. And over on the defensive side of the ball, they have an 81 overall left end and Carl Granderson. At right end will be an 81 in Chase Young. Defensive tackle is an 82 in Brian Brisset. Outside linebacker is going to be a 78. Middle linebacker is going to be an 84. Right outside linebacker will be an 83. At corner, they have a 92 in Kool-Aid McKinstry, an 87 in Christian Benford, and an 82 in Michael Carter. Free safety is a 77 Kevin Byard, and strong safety is an 83 in Jeremy Chin. Before we actually jump into this game though, there is one thing I want to show you guys. We have our very first superstar X Factor on this team, and it is not a player I don't think anyone will really expect here. It is our backup tight end, Antoine Edmonds. And I've actually known he was going to be a superstar X Factor for a few weeks. I just kind of wanted to surprise you guys with it, because if you look at the progression history and you go all the way down here, I believe, yeah, you see Superstar X Factor Dev. He actually got that from weekly training one week, and obviously that may change how our tight end position fills out in the future, but right now I'm just really happy we have a Superstar Dev and a Superstar X Factor there. Now it is time for us to head over to New Orleans to take on the Saints to see if we can't come away with a NFC South title. I will gladly take a start like this, trying to simulate a bit of the Saints drive, and on the second play of the game, Emmett Ward comes away with a pick and we'll take over at the 25-yard line. If the team just wants to make this one a blowout today, I'm not going to say I would be upset. 1st and 10, out of a shotgun set, we'll give it to Keaton Mitchell, who goes up the middle, and he's going to get brought down for just a 2-yard carry. I do want to say though, and I forgot to show it before the game, our starting center, AJ Miller, is injured, so our backup is actually in the game. And that backup is Joseph Hobson. So now it's a 2nd and 8. And he'll look to pass this time. He's going to the end zone and overthrows his man, trying to find Brian Duvall. That will lead to a 3rd and 8 for the Thunderbirds. And Keaton Mitchell's in the backfield, but Richardson will look to pass this time. Going downfield, he'll find Jamison Williams, and that will keep this drive alive down to the 11-yard line. It will now be a shotgun set for the Thunderbirds. Keaton Mitchell back in the backfield again. And he's going to send a man in motion. I believe that's rookie receiver Joe Wayne. Will we throw to him here? He'll drop back and looks to pass, but under pressure, gets rid of it and just throws it through the back of the end zone. At least he didn't take the sack that time. That now leads to a 2nd and 10 for Toronto. In a shotgun set again, he's going to send Dylan Kruger in motion, and he's going to get sent right back. So now Richardson will take the snap and looks to pass. He steps up, and he's going to take off himself and walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. Following that, the defense would force a 3-and-out in simulation, and then while I was simulating the Thunderbirds' very next drive, he finds Brian Duvall for a 53-yard touchdown to go up 14-0. Let's go ahead and finally jump in and watch some defense. It's a 3rd and 4 from the 35, and he's going to send 83 in motion, take the snap, run the play fake, and now he's going deep over the middle, finds his man, and a touchdown to Chris Olave. All right, not great defense there. On Toronto's next drive, we have driven all the way down to the 15-yard line. We are now in the 2nd quarter. Out of a 5-wide set, Richardson with a quick throw will find receiver Sidney Peters, who will get down to the 5 to set up a 2nd and inches. It's going to be another shotgun set this time. And it looks like Keaton Mitchell still lined up in the backfield here. Will we give it to the running back? No, we will not. He'll look to pass to the end zone, and an open man touchdown to Brian Duvall for his 2nd one today. But it would appear the Saints are trying to make this one a shootout. They have now driven all the way down to the 3-yard line for a 1st and goal. Out of a shotgun set, he'll take the snap to the end zone, and a wide open Chris Olave for his 2nd touchdown today. Quarterback Ben Richardson has driven us down to the 18-yard line. We'll jump in on a 2nd and 8. Out of a shotgun set, he's going to find Duvall over the middle for the 1st down. He will fight his way down to the 8, and that'll set up a 1st and goal. Another shotgun set for the Thunderbirds. Keaton Mitchell still in the backfield. And it looks like Dylan Kruger is going to go in motion and line up at receiver on the outside. He will drop back and look to pass. He finds Kruger over the middle, and he will fight into the end zone somehow. Touchdown, Toronto. That is 4 passing touchdowns in the first half today. Our defense would force a 3-and-out, and now we have driven down to the 24-yard line under 2 minutes to go here in the first half, as Richardson will look to add another passing touchdown, going downfield, and a one-handed grab by Dylan Kruger. Apparently, our offense woke up today and decided to be a problem for everyone else. 1st and 10 from the 11. Out of a 5-wide set, he's going to find Duval over the middle. That's a gain of a few yards to bring up a 2nd and 6 at the 7. We are going to let the clock run down. About 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Keaton Mitchell's lined up in the backfield again. Richardson will drop back and look to pass. He's going to the outside. He finds Jameson Williams, who is drug into the end zone by the Saints, and we go up 35-14. Remember that the game started on the second play with us getting an interception. Now going into the second half, and Kool-Aid McKinstry has picked off Ben Richardson to start the second half on just the second play of the half. So just maybe the Saints are not going to go down without a fight. 1st and 10 from the 20. He's going to send his running back to line up at tight end, apparently. He'll drop back and look to pass. A quick throw to the outside will be caught for just a gain of a couple yards. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 at the 18-yard line. He's once again going to send his running back in motion. He will drop back and look to pass. He's going to fire this to the outside. He finds his man, and that's going to be a first down to about the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. We'll see where he goes on this one. He's going to send a man in motion. Take the snap. It's a handoff, who gets absolutely planted by Zach Sealer. 2nd and goal from about the 7-yard line now. They rule that as a loss of 1. Drops back and looks to pass. All the time in the world, goes to the end zone and nearly gets intercepted. You have to come away with that one, Austin Acosta. That's going to line up for a 3rd and goal now. The Saints will drop back and look to go to the end zone again. He's going to step up, and he is going to get sacked on the play by Zach Sealer back to the 11. And to be completely honest, I know you're looking for points here just in any way you can get it, but down by 3 touchdowns with the way our offense has been playing, aside from the 1 interception, I think I would have gone for this, but they are going to kick a field goal. And now we will find out if Ben Richardson and the offense will make them pay for it. 3rd and 1 from the 38. We give it to Keaton Mitchell, who will have the first down just barely to the 36-yard line. Now a 1st and 10. A bunch set near the top of your screen. He is all alone in the backfield. Richardson will drop back and looks to pass. And he's going to fire this to the outside. That'll be caught by Keaton Mitchell and turn that into a gain of 7 to bring up a 2nd and 3 at the 29. Quarterback Ben Richardson is looking for his 6th passing touchdown on this drive of the day. Now on 2nd and 3. He'll drop back and look to pass again. He finds Kruger over the middle, who will fight his way to the 22, giving us the first down. Richardson back in a shotgun set again. Keaton Mitchell lined up in the backfield, and he's going to send Kruger in motion. And he will line up on the other side of the line this time. 1 second to go on the play clock. They get the snap out. He's going downfield and finds his man. That'll be a first down to Antoine Edmonds, our backup tight end. Now from the 6-yard line, it's a 1st and goal. He sends Jameson Williams in motion. He'll take the snap, and he's going to the end zone to find Dylan Kruger. There will be touchdown pass number 6 today. Just to really show you guys what happened, near the end of the 3rd quarter, the Saints were driving, got down inside the 20, and then Dax Hill came away with a pick to start the 4th quarter. From that point on, nothing else would really happen. We get the win, we secure the division by a final score of 42-17. In a must-win game for us, Ben Richardson showed up and showed that he can be a franchise quarterback, because he ended up having the same amount of incomplete passes as he had touchdowns. 30 for 35, 366 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Did have the 1 interception. Ultimately did not matter much. Keaton Mitchell 16 for 61, and Ben Richardson even ran in for a touchdown. So in total, he actually had more touchdowns than he had incomplete passes. And receiving, Brian Duval 7 for 108 and 2 scores. Jameson Williams 7 for 83 and a score. And Dylan Kruger 5 for 50 and 2 scores. Quarterback Brian Ramsey for the Saints went 26 of 46 for 285, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. On the ground, they really did not run the ball a whole lot, and their best receiver was apparently Michael Pittman, 8 for 63, or Chris Olave, 5 for 83, and 2 scores. Well, I would be lying if I told you it didn't feel nice to see that Y next to Toronto's abbreviation, meaning we have officially secured the division. It looks like the NFC West is also locked up to the 49ers, and the Packers seemingly have had the NFC North on lock for a while, since 2nd place is 5-10. And then the NFC East is still just a massive shootout because Dallas is 13-2, Philadelphia is 12-3. But moving on, our next opponent will be Washington, who is sitting at 7-8. we do still have a chance to move into a higher seed, which is why we are still kind of concerned about these games. But I believe if we lose or the 49ers or Packers win, then we're locked into the 4 seed. So we'll consider resting starters at that point. But the Commanders are led by a 92 overall quarterback in Jaden Daniels. At running back, they have an 83 overall in Zach Charbonnet. I think I said his name right. If I didn't, I apologize. Wide receiver will be an 80 overall in Will Silas, an 86 Terry McLaurin, and an 81 in Troy Franklin. Tight end is going to be a 75. Left tackle is going to be an 80. Left guard will be a 76. Center is a 72. Right guard is a 90. And right tackle is an 82. Over on defense, they start with a 79 overall left end. At right, it will be an 84. And then at defensive tackle, we have an 87 and an 86 in Deron Payne and Jerzon Newton. I probably said his name wrong as well. I do apologize. Outside linebacker is a 77 overall. Middle linebacker will be a 74. Right outside linebacker is a 77. Then at corner, they have an 88 in Marshawn Lattimore, an 84 and this guy that I don't want to try to butcher his name as well. And then an 81 in Benjamin St. Juste. They have a lot of names on this roster that I'm probably just saying incorrectly as hell. But then they have an 82 overall free safety, and at strong safety an 89. And I completely forgot to show the overall matchup that I generally do before games, but instead you got to see Brian Duvall's stats on the year, who was only, I believe, 14 yards away from getting 1,000 on the season. Washington will get the ball first and have driven all the way down to the Toronto 20-yard line. Jaden Daniels may be a problem for us today. Out of a shotgun set, they'll hand off to the running back who goes to the outside, has the first down. There is a flag as he's brought down about the 8-yard line, but I imagine this play is going to be coming back. It is a holding on Washington. A couple plays following the hold, it's now a 3rd and 16 at the 25-yard line. Daniels out of shotgun will drop back and look to pass. He's going to go deep downfield into the end zone and nearly get intercepted, but we will hold them to a field goal try. They would make that field goal in simulation to make it 3-0. Now we have a 3rd and 3 of the Washington 27 on our very first drive of the game, as Richardson will drop back, and he's going to find a man to the outside, Dylan Kruger, for the first down. We will go over stats at the end of the season, but I will update you guys that Dylan Kruger is already over 100 receptions and 1,000 yards. He is having an insane season. Now on 1st and 10 from the 21, Kruger will come in motion just to get sent right back. Now Richardson looking to pass will go downfield. He finds Sidney Peters for a gain of about 7 to bring up a 2nd and 3. Obviously, Ben Richardson coming off a 6-touchdown performance in the last game. Somehow did not win Player of the Week, though. So now on the next play, he's going to send Kruger in motion. Let me guess, he's going to send him right back? Absolutely. It's like our bread and butter at this point. He throws downfield and finds another man for the first down. This time it's Jameson Williams down to the 7. It will set up a 1st and goal here. Richardson back in shotgun. Keaton Mitchell's in the backfield. Richardson drops back to pass, rolls to the outside, needs to get rid of it, throws on the run, finds his man, and Jameson Williams down to the 2-yard line. It'll be another shotgun set. Do we give this one to running back Keaton Mitchell? No, we do not. He will look for the pass. Rolling to the outside again, trying to buy some time, and Richardson's going to get sacked on the play to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. It'll be another shotgun set for the Thunderbirds. I'm sure no one is shocked. Richardson will look to pass. He's going to step up and take off and just walk into the end zone completely untouched. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. Washington's next drive would end with a holding penalty, and then they end up having to punt it away after a 3-and-out. So now 3rd and 4 for us from the 46-yard line. It'll be a screen to the outside, caught by Keaton Mitchell, who will fight for the first down to the 42 to keep this drive moving. Being completely honest, I did not know if he was going to make it there in time. But a new set of downs. Mitchell's still in the backfield. We're actually going to send him in motion. So now Richardson will drop back. A quick throw to the outside. They brought a blitz, and we'll find Keaton Mitchell for a gain of about 4 to the 39-yard line. On the very next play, Keaton Mitchell got exactly 0 yards on a carry, so now it's a 3rd and 6 out of a shotgun set. Richardson will look to pass. Dropping farther back, now rolling to the outside. He's going to take off, and Ben Richardson will have the first down and more, and get brought out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First down, Toronto. Once again, it's a shotgun set. Brian Duvall at the top of your screen. I believe that's Sidney Peters in the slot, and he's sending Dylan Kruger in motion. Now Richardson will take the snap, going downfield. A wide open Jameson Williams, who gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Thunderbirds. Ben Richardson back in a shotgun set one more time today. Keaton Mitchell is in the backfield. Do we give it to the running back? Of course not. We're going to look for a pass. Rolling to the outside. Throws on the run and just puts it through the back of the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 5. He will come in as the only one in the backfield. A bunch set near the top of your screen there. That is Jameson Williams, Brian Duvall, and Sidney Peters. But he won't look to throw there. It's a QB draw up the middle that gets us to the 3-yard line to bring up a 3rd and goal. Don't really know if I agree with that play call. Richardson comes back in shotgun again. Mitchell is still in the backfield. And we will finally give it to the running back who goes up the middle, but won't find the end zone. Brings up a 4th and goal from the 2. Why do we not put in our power bag Nick Chubb right there? There is an injury, and it's Keaton Mitchell. So it looks like Keelan Wayne and Nick Chubb will be our running backs the rest of the day. So on 4th and goal, we just send out kicker Glenn Griffin for a short 19-yard field goal try to take a 7-point lead. The kick is away, and it's good. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders looking to tie this one up. It's a 1st and goal from the 10. Out of a shotgun set, he'll send Terry McLaurin in motion. It's a jet toss to him, and now he goes to the outside just to get brought down for a 1-yard carry. 2nd and goal from about the 9-yard line here. In a shotgun set, Daniels, let's see, he's going to send a man in motion. Will be another toss play. No, it won't. It's a fake, and then a handoff to the running back who was met and brought down by Austin Acosta at the 7-yard line. A great tackle, because I am almost positive if he got stiff-armed there, he was going to score. 3rd and goal, he'll drop back to pass, and Daniels will look to run, gets away from Sealer, and will walk into the end zone. It may be a battle of rushing touchdowns from the quarterbacks today. They tied up at 10. With just 1 minute and 26 seconds to go here in the first half, we face a 3rd and 7. There's the play fake going downfield. He finds Dylan Kruger, who can't hold on to the pass, and will punt it away on 4th down. That would later lead to us going into the second half, where we do get the ball first. It's a 3rd and 5 from our own 35, trying to avoid the 3 and out to start the second half. Richardson looking to pass, standing in the pocket, now going over the middle, finding Brian Duvall, and this drive will continue. The very next play would be a quick handoff to running back Keelan Wayne, who would get 0 yards. So now it's a 2nd and 10. Richardson will look to try to get some yards on this play. He will find his man. That is going to be rookie receiver Joe Wayne to the 50-yard line to set up a 3rd and 4. So another chance for Washington to get our offense off the field here. Richardson back in shotgun, Wayne out of the backfield, but he will look to pass. He's going to throw towards the sideline. That'll be caught by Jamison Williams all the way down to the 34, keeping the drive moving. Once again, we would give it to Keelan Wayne, and once again, he would get 0 yards on the play. So now it's a 2nd and 10 from the 34. Out of a shotgun set, Richardson with a quick throw will find Dylan Kruger. He'll turn that into a 1st down and get brought down to the 23. Our star tight end continues to have just an amazing season. 1st and 10, back in a shotgun set. We'll go back to Keelan Wayne. This time he'll get some positive yards, and I'll actually show this because he did get 4 on the play and finally didn't get stuffed for nothing. That brings up a 2nd and 6 at the 19-yard line. In a shotgun set, we'll go back to Keelan Wayne again, who goes to the outside. This time he'll get the 1st down and get brought down to the 12-yard line. The next play would be an incomplete ball from Ben Richardson, so now it's a 2nd and 10. Still at the 12-yard line, he'll drop back and look to pass again, going to the end zone. A wide open man and a touchdown to rookie receiver Joe Wayne, as we'll take a 17-10 lead. But can our defense get Washington off the field? It's a 3rd and 8 from about the 40-yard line. Jaden Daniels out of a 5-wide set will drop back, throw to the outside. That'll be caught by McLaurin, who will not have the 1st down. So on 4th and 3 from the 35, what does Washington decide to do? They are going to stay on the field and go for it. This could be a massive point in the game. Jaden Daniels lines up under center from the 35-yard line. Will drop back, and a quick throw will be caught for the 1st down, keeping this drive alive to our 27. That was a massive missed opportunity by our defense, but now they have it again. 3rd and 9 from the 26. He runs the play fake, throws on the run to the outside, caught by his man, who was brought down to the 22. So now on 4th and 5 at the 22-yard line, what do you do if you're Washington? Apparently you decide to settle for the field goal this time. It'll be about a 39-yard try. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and this one will be good. The Thunderbirds' next drive does take us into the final quarter of this game. We are at the 21-yard line with a 1st and 10. Within striking distance to make this a 2-score game, we give it to Keelan Wayne, who will go to the outside and get met in the backfield. They're going to rule that a loss of 1. So it'll be another shotgun set for the Thunderbirds now. From the 22-yard line, Keelan Wayne still lined in at running back, and we're going to send Dylan Kruger in motion. He will actually line up as a receiver on this play. Richardson will drop back and look to pass. He's going to the outside. A diving deflection does not get tipped away, and Antoine Edmonds turns it into a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Here is another shotgun set for the Thunderbirds. And it looks like Keelan Wayne's still going to be the running back here, despite the fact that we do have Nick Chubb on the roster. Richardson trying to buy some time, throws on the run towards the sideline. That'll be caught and set up a 2nd and goal at the 1 by number 1, Jamison Williams. Shotgun set for Ben Richardson again. Keelan Wayne still the running back, and it's going to be a toss play to him on the outside. He'll follow his blocks and fight his way down, and they rule that he got in the end zone. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. On their next drive with 10:03 to play, they face a 3rd and 16 at their own 24. Can we get them off the field? We brought a blitz. He's going downfield and finds his man, but it sets up a 4th and 1. Now, do you punt it away or do you line up and go for this? Surprisingly, they seem to actually be punting this ball away. I really thought they would go for it, But the punt will be sent deep. It's not going to be a fake. We will field this at about the 10-yard line, bring it up across the 20, and get met and brought down to the 22. We'll jump into that drive a little bit later on. It's a 3rd and 1 from the 42-yard line. And we'll give this one to Keelan Wayne, who goes to the outside and gets the first down to keep this drive alive. We would not face another 3rd down until the Washington 21-yard line, where it's a 3rd and 1. They have burned one timeout. There's about 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and that'll be a first down for Toronto as they burn their 2nd timeout. We're at the 15-yard line. How about just another shotgun set for Toronto? Richardson will drop back. A quick throw to the outside, caught by Sidney Peters, and that's going to set up a 2nd and 6 as they burn that final timeout. With 2:18 remaining. From the 10-yard line, we'll take the snap. We give it to Keelan Wayne, who goes to the outside, who will get met and brought down at the 10, and that should take us down to the 2-minute warning. A first down, and we could pretty much run down the rest of the clock here. We'll give it to Keelan Wayne, who goes up the middle, and he will not get to the marker, bringing up a 4th and 3. We should be able to let this clock run down a lot, though, and apparently instead of a field goal, we're just going to go for it here. 4th and 3 from the 8-yard line. We get this first down, it is definitely over. Ben Richardson from under center. We give it to Keelan Wayne, who has the first down, and he'll just get into the end zone. Touchdown, Thunderbirds. And that is going to set up your final score of 31-13. So we reach 10 wins on the season, and we still have slight hope of getting higher than the 4 seed. Whenever I looked earlier, it looks like we can still get as high as the 2 seed right now. Ben Richardson with another amazing day, 28 of 34 for 264 yards and a touchdown. Running the ball, Keelan Wayne got 64 yards on 21 carries and 2 touchdowns. Ben Richardson also ran in for a 3rd touchdown of his own, actually a 2nd touchdown of his own, because yeah, he only had 1 passing touchdown, then 1 rushing. Receiving, Jameson Williams 9 for 96, Dylan Kruger 6 for 66, Joe Wayne caught our only passing touchdown, and 5 catches for 35 yards. Looks like Braxton Cunningham, our rookie safety, and Tracy Wilcox, our veteran middle linebacker, both led the team in tackles with a total of 6. Zach Sealer got 1.5 sacks, Zach Harrison got 1, and Bobby Brown got half of 1. We got no interceptions today, though. And personally, I think Jaden Daniels did not play a bad game. 16 of 23 for 196, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they could really not run the ball. Charbonnet only got 8 carries for 27 yards, Jaden Daniels 6 for 33 and a touchdown. And then receiving, Will Silas got 6 for 80, and then Terry McLaurin 6 for 49, but these two were really the only ones to show up. Before I went over the Commanders roster, I did say we would kind of reevaluate the situation to see if I wanted to rest any starters going into this week, and I don't think I'm going to, because it looks like both the 49ers and the Packers both lost their last games, so we could still theoretically tie their record. I don't know what the tiebreakers are right now, but I would really love to move off the 4 seed because the Philadelphia Eagles, who are currently 12-4, have locked in the 5 seed. And I would really like to just avoid playing Philadelphia. But our final regular season game will be against the 7-9 Arizona Cardinals, who are also still theoretically fighting for a playoff spot because the Rams are currently the 7 seed. The Cardinals are the 8 seed and only 1 game behind them. And they are still going to be led by an 84 overall Kyler Murray at quarterback. At running back is a 91 in Trey Benson, an 82 in Braylon Allen. Over at wide receiver is a 93 Marvin Harrison Jr. He has developed pretty nicely in this universe. An 84 Michael Wilson and an 80 overall and a 3rd-year receiver by Nate Vincent. Tight end is going to be a 91 Trey McBride. Left tackle is going to be an 84. Left guard is an 88. Center is a 78. Right guard's a 78. And right tackle will be an 80. Now, over on defense, they do have Drake Jackson, who was a 79 overall at left end. At right end will be a 79 in Darius Robinson. Defensive tackle is an 85 in John Franklin, a rookie. My God, he is good. Outside linebacker is going to be an 81 Zaven Collins. Middle linebacker is an 80 in Nakobe Dean. Outside linebacker is going to be Tyree Wilson at a 75. Don't know why I'm saying everybody's name. At corner, they have an 84 overall in David Williams and an 83 Max Melton. Free safety is going to be an 84 Jalen Thompson, and strong safety is an 86 in Buda Baker. I think I said everyone on defense's name. Just in case anyone was curious, as of right now, here's what the full playoff picture looks like for the AFC and NFC side. Still, the number 1 seed is the Tennessee Titans, and when we beat them, they fell to 9-4. So the AFC doesn't appear to be that strong this year, to be completely honest. I guess we can go take a look at these standings and see where everyone is. I know Dallas has the best record in the league right now. The Titans are still 12-4, so they have not lost since they lost to us, so they're having a pretty solid year. The Ravens are also 12-4, so, maybe it just looks a little bit weird at this point. But record-wise, everyone else looks pretty fine now, especially with those two 12-4 teams. Obviously, that conference is still up for grabs of who's going to get the 1 seed. Remember, though, that Tennessee is starting a rookie quarterback, so they could be a massive problem in the future of this league. But unfortunately, we do have a major injury to our team that we did not get to see in the last game. Wide receiver Brian Duvall has a ruptured disc and will miss the next 5 weeks of the season. So I believe the only way we get him back is if we make it all the way to the Super Bowl, which is really, really unfortunate. Now, I'm not going to add him to IR just on the off chance we can actually go that far, and for the fact that our receiving room honestly doesn't look that bad without him. Obviously, it doesn't look that great without our 92 overall #1 receiver, but Jameson Williams is still an 89 overall and a very, very solid option for us. Sidney Peters is an 83 superstar depth chart, only in his 2nd year. I think he's fine. Joe Wayne has kind of come up big for us a couple times this year. And then past that, we have Curtis Samuel and Jeff McLeod, who is a rookie, and Samuel, obviously, our veteran receiver. But our #1 slot receiver is going to be Sidney Peters. I believe he's backed up there by Jameson Williams. So if there's another injury, I may have to sign somebody. But as of right now, we're not going to do any other moves and just roll with these guys. But obviously, you never want to lose your #1 receiver at any point in the year, especially going into the playoffs. So let's see how much that actually affects our offense. The Cardinals offense would get to take the field first. They have driven all the way down to the Toronto 14, where they face a 2nd and 11. Out of a shotgun set, it's going to be a handoff to Trey Benson to the outside, and he is going to get all the way down to the 2-yard line to set up a 1st and goal. Now it's going to be an I formation for the Cardinals here. Do they go back to their running back? Kyler Murray goes under center, takes a snap. They do go to the back to the outside, and he will fight his way. They say he did not get into the end zone. I think he's ruled down about the half-yard line. Honestly, he might be closer than the half-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. They give it to their backup running back, who will dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Well, so far in simulation, no Brian Duvall, no problem. We have driven all the way down to the 16. It's a 1st and 10. And he's going to go downfield, find Dylan Kruger, who is definitely his #1 target at this point, to lead to a 2nd and 1. From the 7-yard line here, out of a shotgun set. Keaton Mitchell is in the backfield, so he was fine after his injury in the last game. We're going to send Antoine Edmonds in motion. He lines up as a receiver. Richardson will throw downfield. That'll be dropped by Antoine Edmonds to lead to a 3rd down. That was definitely a risky pass anyway, trying to force that one in. So now from the 7, out of a shotgun set, he will take the snap and looks to pass again. Stay in the pocket, trying to escape the pressure. He's going to get sacked on the play, and we will settle for a field goal try. And our kicker, Glenn Griffin, would have no problem on that field goal in simulation, making it 7-3. But unfortunately, Trey Benson just broke off a 68-yard touchdown run to make it 14-3. And I already saw he had over 50 rushing yards on the first drive. So in the first quarter, we've allowed over 100 rushing yards from their running back. On the following drive, though, the Thunderbirds have gotten all the way down to the 8-yard line. It's a 2nd and 8. Richardson will look to pass, and a wide open man, and he cannot hit him. I think that was Joe Wayne, and he would have been able to walk into the end zone, but now on 3rd down. Can we survive here? He's going to throw on the run, and that gets deflected away, so I imagine Glenn Griffin will get to come back out. Later on in the 2nd quarter, it is a 14-6 ball game as Glenn Griffin would make that field goal. The Cardinals now face a 3rd and 5. Kyler going to go downfield, and he has a man for the 1st down, but there is a flag. So is this going to be holding, or is it going to be pass interference? It'll be holding on Arizona. About the time that flag flew would be about the time you get a holding or a PI call, which is why I was a bit concerned. But now it's going to be a screen on 3rd and 15 to the outside, and he'll get planted by Cunningham, our rookie safety. But that will now lead to a 51-yard field goal try to make it 17-6 here with about 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. The kick is away, and this one will be good. Well, I will gladly take stuff like that in simulation. Obviously, I wish we could have seen it, but I didn't really think our offense was going to do much. But we do get a 60-yard touchdown pass to Sidney Peters. Do we go for 2? We do not. So we make it 17-13. We would then get the ball to start the second half and have driven down to the Arizona 26-yard line with a chance to take the lead in this game. Richardson back in shotgun will take the snap, hand off to Keaton Mitchell, who goes to the outside, and he'll get met and brought down for a gain of about 4 yards to bring up a 2nd and 6. Richardson out of a shotgun set again will drop back and looks to pass, roll to the outside, throws on the run, caught by Keaton Mitchell, who will break one tackle and then get met and brought down just shy of the marker. They'll rule it at 3rd and 2. I do not want to settle for another field goal here, Richardson. That's all we've gotten to actually watch today. Hand off to Keaton Mitchell, who will have the 1st down, and he's going to get met and brought down to the 11, so the drive will continue. Now it looks like Mitchell is breathing a little heavy, so we'll probably go with a pass play this time. 1st and 10. He's going to send tight end Braden Willis in motion, and I'm thinking Dylan Kruger is injured. We have not seen him in a minute. Richardson will drop back, and he finds Willis, who makes the catch and gets down to the 4-yard line. Braden Willis is not a bad tight end. He's just my 3rd string behind a superstar depth trait and a superstar X-Factor depth trait. Now on 2nd and 3 from the 4. He sends Jameson Williams in motion. He'll look to pass, go into the end zone, and he will find Joe Wayne. Touchdown Thunderbirds. But obviously the Cardinals are looking to respond. A 3rd and 9. At the Toronto 31, Kyler Murray will drop back to pass, standing in the pocket. Now he's going to try to run and get sacked on the play by Zach Sealer to the 35, which will now lead to a 52-yard field goal try from their kicker to try to tie this one up. The snap, the hold, the kick is away, and this one will be good. Right at the end of the 3rd quarter, we get a 34-yard touchdown pass to our running back, Keaton Mitchell, and take the lead right back, this time 27-20. The Cardinals now face a 3rd and 3 on the next drive from the 34-yard line of Toronto. Kyler Murray will take the snap and looks to pass, going to the outside. He finds McBride, who was met and brought down a yard shy of the marker. And I don't think this is a shock to anyone at all. They are going to go for it here. With 11 minutes to go in the game, they come out in what looks like an I formation. Hand off to Benson, who goes to the outside, who will get met and brought down in the backfield by, I believe, Corey Bailey, one of our outside linebackers. It's a turnover on downs. And I am sorry I am missing all of these, but I never expect our offense to do stuff like this. But we get a 68-yard touchdown pass to Sidney Peters on the very next play. I would imagine the Cardinals' hopes are fading pretty fast. It's a 3rd and 25 from their own 46 on their next drive. Kyler rolling to the outside. He's going to load up and go deep downfield. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Arizona. They are not out of this game yet. Toronto looking at a possible 3 now. It's a 3rd and 5 from their own 26. At about 5.5 minutes to go here in the game. Obviously a massive play. Richardson rolling to the outside. Gets rid of it. And it will be caught, but ruled a 4th and 1. And I imagine we'll punt it away. We will jump in following the 2-minute warning. Both teams will have all 3 timeouts. There's a minute 59 to play. They're at the Toronto 38. There's a screen to the outside. He'll get met by Lyle Blue and brought down for just a yard. They are not going to burn any of those timeouts just yet. Murray's going to go back under center. He'll drop back, and a quick throw to the outside is going to be caught by McBride. We could not get the diving deflection, and now they'll get down to the 21, where they burn their first timeout with a minute 23 to play here in regulation. Kyler Murray going to go back in shotgun. He'll drop back and looks to pass again. Throws to the outside. That'll be caught along the sideline for a gain of 7. A minute 19 to play. They did not have to burn a timeout there, obviously, because he got out of bounds. They'll give it to the running back on the next play, and he has the first down and a lot more all the way down to the 4-yard line. They burn that second timeout with a minute 15 to play. They'll come back in a shotgun set for a 1st and goal. Do they give it back to the running back? Yes, they will. He goes up the middle, and he will fight his way down to the 1. And are they going to burn that final timeout? Not quite yet. Down to 45 seconds. 2nd and goal. From right at the 1-yard line, Kyler will drop back and look to pass. He's going to be under pressure and getting sacked on the play by Austin Acosta back to the 11. They would burn that final timeout with 36 seconds to go. Now at the 11-yard line for a 3rd and goal, he'll drop back and look to pass. He's going to the end zone, and that one will be caught by his man. Touchdown, Cardinals, with 32 seconds remaining. So a 14-point comeback as long as the PAT goes through, and we're officially all tied up. I'll be honest, I thought we had it in hand there, and then I saw that huge touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison and figured we might be in trouble. Let's see what kind of field position we can get to start this drive. We'll start at the 27 with exactly 27 seconds to go. It is now up to our offense, and it's up to Sidney Peters, who's apparently had one hell of a day. We do have all 3 timeouts, so hopefully EA is smart enough to actually use them. Out of a shotgun set, and are we just going to play for overtime as we give it to Keaton Mitchell up the middle, and we will burn our first timeout after a 6-yard carry. So maybe we won't because we do burn our timeout. We'll see what we do here. Out of a shotgun set, Richardson with Keaton Mitchell in the backfield is going to send a wide receiver in motion. It's actually Antoine Edmonds, our backup tight end. Now he'll look to pass, roll to the outside, and Richardson will take off across the 40, the 45, and get brought down to the 46 as we burn our second timeout with 17 seconds remaining. Now remember that our kicker does have an insane leg. He has 99 kick power. So we'll see if we can actually get in field goal range here. 1st and 10. Out of a shotgun set, Richardson will drop back to pass. He's going to fire. That'll be caught over the middle by Braden Willis, who will break that tackle and get brought down. It is ruled 2nd and inches with 11 seconds to go. And we are just saying screw it. A 61-yard try from Glenn Griffin will be good. We take the lead with 7 seconds to go. How about a 60 or a 61-yard kick? That is absurd. To try to get our 11th win on the season. Arizona is now going to need a miracle to get back in this game. They will field this out of the end zone, bring it up across the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, and finally get brought down to the 46-yard line. I think they got this within Hail Mary range here. 1 second remaining. It'll be the final play of the game. Everyone, please be ready for a deep ball. Kyler rolling to the outside. He's going to be under pressure. Hit as he's throwing, and that will fall incomplete. We will get out of here with a win. So we finished this season 11-6 on the year. Easily the best record we have ever had. We went 2-15, 6-10-1, and now 11-6, and I've won the division. Hopefully we move out of the 4 seed in the playoff spot, but I cannot guarantee that. I don't know how all the tiebreakers were going to work, but this was at least a fun final regular season game. Unfortunately for Arizona, we did end their playoff hopes though. I don't know what got into Ben Richardson today, but he just had an amazing stretch of games. He finished today 24 of 28 for 382 and 4 touchdowns. Running the ball, Keaton Mitchell only got 43 yards on 12 carries, and then receiving, Sidney Peters stepped up huge in the absence of Brian Duvall, 7 for 191 and 2 touchdowns. Keaton Mitchell got a touchdown, and Joe Wayne caught a touchdown. And it appears that Emmett Ward, one of our starting defensive backs, actually led the team in tackles today with a total of 10. Zach Steeler got 2 sacks, Zach Harrison got 1.5, Austin Acosta got 1, and Tracy Wilcox got half of 1. Interceptions, we came away with 0. And then Kyler Murray on the other sideline goes 27 of 36 for 294 and 2 touchdowns. Trey Vincent, 159 yards and a score. Kyler Murray does not run the ball enough in Madden Simulation, in my opinion. 6 carries for 29 yards is really, really low for Kyler. But then Braylon Allen got 1 carry for a 1-yard touchdown. Receiving, their best one was Trey McBride, 10 for 65. Or you could say it's Marvin Harrison, 5 for 115 and a score. And Michael Wilson got the touchdown that actually tied the game up there at the end. Before I simulate into the playoffs to figure out who our first wildcard opponent is going to be, we do have another injury to the team, and it's a pretty massive one. Because not only are we down Brian Duvall, we are also down Dylan Kruger. So now we're out another receiving option for our quarterback. And it looks like we're not going to get either back unless we can make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately for us, it appears the Packers and the 49ers both won their final regular season games in Week 18, which means we get to take on the 5 seed 12-5 Philadelphia Eagles in our very first playoff matchup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you next time.